Hello, my name is Zoe Fail, and this is my introductory video. In the last few years, my grandmother's memory has been slipping, and her hands have been made crooked because of age and arthritis. And unfortunately, it's made it difficult for her to craft and paint like she used to. The reason I talk about this is I love to create, and my grandmother is the reason for that. She has been crafting and creating for as far back as I can remember. Growing up, me, my sister, and my mother lived with my grandmother, who we called Mom, in her house in a small town in Louisiana. My mother worked most of the time, and my sister was always over at a different friend's house. So, other than school, I never really had any other children to play with. So, most of my days were actually spent indoors with my grandmother in her sewing room. Whether it was clothes, dolls, paintings, carvings, or even small pieces of jewelry, she was always creating something. There are pictures of my aunt, my uncle, and my mom wearing coats, pants, and dresses that she had made them for school that we actually still have at our house and are still in perfect condition. My son even has a canvas bag that my grandmother painted with roses and sunflowers that he uses every day for work and for school. She even made a witch that's made from PVC pipe and hair made from yarn, and it sits in a chair and it holds candy bowls during Halloween. She's had that for maybe 5, 6 years, and it's still in perfect condition. We still bring it out every year. Every corner of her home is decorated with giant cushions, canvases, quilts, and all these little knickknacks that she made herself by hand. I have always been in awe of all of these things that she would craft, how she would take these random scraps of fabric or take these different colors and she would create a new doll or paint a new canvas or anything like that. And she is the one who taught me how to sew, how to paint, and how to create. I honestly don't remember the first thing that I created while under my grandmother's guidance, but I do know that she had always been very encouraging of my practice. There was a time when she had bought a few art books and even a VHS tape to learn a new painting technique. It was dual colored flower petals. And that whole week, we sat down on the couch every day after school with paint, brushes, scraps of cardboard and paper, and we would learn this new technique together. And every time when we were finished, she would look over at what I did and she would say, "Hita, you did that so quickly. Next time, you're painting my flowers for me." And that was the moment. That was what sparked my passion for crafting. And her constant encouragement over the next few years continued to keep me motivated and it kept me creating. It was around this time that she also showed me how to use her sewing machine, and she would always have spare fabric for me to use. So from that day on, like her, if I could make it myself, I would. Every time I created a new piece, she was the first person that I showed it to. and she would always look it over and just be almost in awe of what I had done, which was an interesting switch because of how in awe of her I had always been before that. Decades later, I decided to expand my artistic repertoire, and I even opened my own small business. At the same time is when my grandmother's memory was starting to get worse. Even though she's not making crafts like she used to, she does still love to doodle, and she always has something to show whenever we go to visit. To this day, I still craft and create. My business is doing well, and I even have a lot of different events that I attend throughout the year where I set up to sell all the different products that I've made. I do this still because not only do I love to do it, it also gives me something to do, and it generates a small part time income. But mostly, I do it for her in memory of what she used to do. I send pictures to my mother almost every day, always with a caption, "Show Mom." And it was always my way of telling her that I appreciate what she did for us and everything that she taught me, and for always encouraging me to continue my pursuit of the arts.